Tonight's specimen is a single sentence. Someone at a dinner table says something slightly too real, and the room leans in. You felt it, the air changes. 10 minutes ago they were a stranger, and now you defend them. One sentence of weakness just bought more trust than a year of competence. Why does that work? And here's the uncomfortable part. Con artists run this exact move on purpose, every single day. So tonight we cut it open. How real trust gets built and how it's faked. By the end, you'll clock the difference in under a minute. Let's begin. First, the mechanism. What turns plain hours of company into actual closeness? Marissa Franco lays it out in her book Platonic. Calibrated vulnerability is the input, closeness is the output. Time alone doesn't do it. Hours without disclosure produce comradely friendships. Pleasant, shallow, stuck for decades. Check your own list. The 5-year coworker who's still just a coworker, that's this finding walking around. A real disclosure is a data point from your interior. Something that isn't in the public version of you. Handing it over is a risk. They could judge you or repeat it to someone worse. And the risk is the point. Trust needs proof it can hold weight, risk is the proof. You know the tax. 11 p.m. you send the too honest text and the spike hits. You reread it 5 times. You draft a clarification, then you delete it. That spike is the body's tax on social risk. It usually settles within a day or two. Hold on to this rule. If a confession costs the teller nothing, it signals nothing. Now, the part nobody tells you. More vulnerability is not better, the research never said that. So why does one confession bond a room while another empties it? Calibration. Picture a dial with 5 marks. Mark 1 is silent, weather and weekend plans. Mark 2 is pleasant, opinions with 0 stakes. Mark 3 is slightly real. You admit you've been tired lately, small stakes, actual interior. Mark 4 is candid, a current struggle with real weight. Mark 5 is confessional, the heavy material. The rule is simple. The mark has to match the hours because trust is priced in time. Jeffrey Hall's research puts numbers on it. Roughly 50 hours turns an acquaintance into a casual friend. Around 90 hours makes a friend, and 200 makes a close one. Nobody skips the meter. Get the mark wrong and it backfires. A Mark 4 confession to a fresh acquaintance produces freeze-out. You've watched it happen. Office kitchen, 10 a.m. A 3-week coworker unloads their divorce over the kettle. Nobody's unkind. The room just goes polite and distant at once. It backs away smiling. That overshare isn't bravery. It hands a near stranger weight they never agreed to carry. Second rule. Disclosure is a trade, not a broadcast. Real closeness is built in matched exchanges. You share one slightly real thing, then you wait. The return can arrive weeks later. Often within 1 to 3 weeks they'll reference it, or match it with something of their own. Third rule, and it's the quiet one. Disclosure needs a stage, and the stage is repetition. Same faces, same place, every week, no agenda. Friendship forms there as a side effect. Regulars need 3 or 4 sightings before you stop being scenery. Then a disclosure has somewhere to land. Increments, reciprocity, time on the meter. That's the legitimate machine laid out on the table. Now flip the slide. Every rule you just learned can be run as a script. A confession that's deployed, not risked, vulnerability run as a performance. It's the con artist's favorite key. First date, minute 20. He lowers his voice and offers up a childhood wound. You feel chosen. Or the seminar stage. The salesman opens with how broke he was before the system saved him. The confession creates a debt. You feel pulled to trust back, to give back. So how do you separate the real thing from the performance? For tells straight from the rules. Tell 1 is speed. Real disclosure climbs 1 step at a time. Fakes jump to intimacy inside an hour. Trust is priced in hours, 50 just for a casual friend. Paying in confessions is skipping the bill. Tell 2 is polish. Real vulnerability wobbles, it's specific, current, and a little clumsy in the mouth. The staged version is smooth. A story told 100 times, pauses landing in the same places. Tell 3 is the missing tax. Real disclosure costs the teller. You can watch the regret flicker afterward. The performer pays nothing because nothing was risked. It wasn't their interior, it was inventory. Tell 4 is the ask. Watch the 10 minutes right after the confession. If a request follows money, secrets, your guard down, the confession was the crowbar. Here's the strange part. Knowing the tells doesn't make you immune because the lean-in is a reflex. Your defense isn't cleverness. It's the clock. Feelings can be rushed, but hours can't. Last cut. What do you do with this? Run it clean and spot it dirty. Running it clean means picking one person you like but haven't deepened with. Offer one slightly real thing. One markup, no further. Then wait and let the trade come back on its own delay. Don't stack confessions. And don't chase the spike with a clarifying text. Let it sit. Spotting it dirty. When a stranger hands you intimacy at speed, don't argue. Just start the meter. Think of the last person who felt like an instant best friend. What did they ask for next? That's tonight's finding. Weakness buys trust because it costs, and it's earned one mark at a time. So keep the sentence that matters. Trust is built in increments. Anyone moving faster than that wants something. Use the dial to connect. Use the tells to protect. That's the whole ethics of it. Case closed. Same table next week. Bring someone you're still deciding about.